We're waiting on the professor, Justin.
Okay. Thank you. Hmm. Bok bok.
Justin, you need to change it to everyone so we know who you're typing it to.
Oh, oops. Well, Rhiannon gets it.
Well, I did now that you collect like a chicken.
Bok.
That's funny. Poor chicken.
Anything to amuse ourselves while we wait for technical difficulties to clear up, right?
You pretty much. Oh. 7:37. Yep, we're all late. I can see you. I can't hear you, and I got no screen.
I can hear you. I can't see you.
Are you recording?
I am recording.
I'm just checking.
We can hear you. We can see you.
Hey, there you are.
Says the recording is in progress.
So,
Yay!
we're recording. I was asking you guys that. Hey,
Couldn't hear you.
We couldn't hear you.
you could see us but couldn't hear
Now we could see you, but we couldn't hear you.
us? Okay. You could see us but not hear us.
Well,
I couldn't
can
see or hear
you
anything.
and hear you now.
Okay, so did you hear me talking about the bacteria in space?
Nope.
Really? Sorry, you guys missed out on. Okay, so now what I do is go up here.
Sounds like a hot topic.
It is. How do I share my screen? Next to my share content. Go here and pull it up. International Space Station is crawling with bacteria.
Ew.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then we got a nice little disease going around. A drug withdrawal. So this is all the great stuff that is in the news that you guys should be aware of, so that you can have fear, make the cure, or be the manager who is responsible for all of this wonderful stuff.
Well,
You guys want important jobs?
Yes.
I got one already.
What? You don't want to go work at the space station and take care of scrubbing it?
My job already requires a secret clearance.
You become the Mr. Clean of space.
That's about it.
Hey, we got to determine what kind of sponges to take up there. Okay, so, Catherine, are you ready? Where is it? Catherine, are you ready to take over and do your presentation from last week? We see your headset.
I am not prepared this week, Professor.
But you did the presentation.
I did. I didn't know I was going to have to present tonight. I wasn't prepared to present tonight.
But you are, because check this out. I'm going to do share content, and I'm going to share my screen, and then I'm going to pull up my PowerPoint, and that looks like your presentation.
Yes, that is my presentation.
Okay, so how do I close this one? I don't like that version of it. I just want this
so
don't worry, I will flip the slides for you.
okay.
Did I put them on the spot? I did.
Yeah. It's fine though.
Everybody in class think I put
I'm
them
getting
on? Say yes.
No.
Nobody in the class. Okay. How you doing? I'm looking at this camera it's dead on me I'm taking a DMV photo.
Did they move the camera for you, or?
Yeah, they did, and I'm moving it back. They gave us a really short cord. That's what the problem is. Look, there it is. Look at your classmates. They're all around. There you go.
Hey, look at all the happy faces.
There we go. Catherine, whenever you're ready. Catherine, you're our only presentation because I don't see Rosaria. Sonia is under the weather. She said she is suffering from the flu. So she called me today and she said that she is going to do her presentation next week.
Okay.
Deep breath.
Oh, here we go.
2.
Yeah, I was having trouble finding it. Okay. So, are you guys ready? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, the article for this week that I had was when a contract isn't enough, how to be sure your agent gets you the best deal. When we talk about agents, we're talking about people who represent the interests of principal decision makers. They act on the principal's behalf with varying degrees of authority. Negotiation agents are employed in negotiations specifically because of their expertise, their specialized knowledge, and also their experience. The agent's know-how is clearly the most constructive reason why they're chosen or employed by decision makers to best represent their interests. The other side of that coin reveals that agents may have other self-serving interests of their own, and these contrary interests might be in conflict with the aims of the people who engage their services. The issue that necessitates that such an article be written is the risk involved when using an agent to negotiate, particularly in relation to faulty, free, and double agents. Lack of information exchange has a huge effect on the overall negotiation process should either the agent or the principal fail to fully share all relevant information. Divergent interests within an organization can also affect an agent's ability to engage in trade-offs if the agent or other negotiating party is not of one mind in their own decision-making process. A third problem could be conflicting interests, and that's when using an agent, since you can assume that every agent is going to have, their kind of own personal agenda. On to strategies and techniques related to these problems that I just discussed. The author suggests that being aware of the signs of a problem agent can prevent negotiation disadvantages. 3 techniques can prevent the common problems mentioned above. Clear communications between both the agent and principal is obviously the simplest solution to overcome the problem of lack of information exchange. The remedy for divergent interest is to have a game plan. All principals involved in the decision-making process must properly communicate their own needs and interests. And they have to agree amongst themselves and make the agent aware of their priorities. Conflicting interests can be remedied with effective communication. Incentives or some form of pay for performance incentive, for example, will encourage the interests of both parties being more in sync with each other. The agent will be more motivated also as a result of incentivizing his services to align the agent's interests with the principal's interests. On to the recommendation and conclusion. As with any relationship, communication is key. Agents can be a great resource in the negotiation process, granted the principal and agent have a clear understanding of each other's needs. In conclusion, to be forewarned is to be forearmed is an old saying that can never be overemphasized. Agents represent negotiation interests, can offer many useful benefits, but it's best to be wisely considered and used. And for applicable negotiation techniques, the article contributes to helping managers apply the following positive negotiation techniques. The first is that we should do our research whenever we plan to hire an independent agent to represent a company or organization that we represent, and ensure that we understand the skills, interests, and the strategies they employ. Don't ever reveal your BOTNA or your best alternative to a negotiated agreement to an independent agent. Instead, always focus on your interests and fully communicate. Prioritize interests instead. And thirdly, use the agent's expertise and knowledge to your fullest advantage. This article led to just a few discussion questions that I wanted to list. The first one is, what are some telltale signs of a faulty, free, or double agent? And that answer, all of these answers can actually be found in the text. The second question is, how might these signs help avoid these agents? The third question is, what are the factors that influence principals to hire an agent? And a fourth question, how do the benefits of hiring an agent outweigh the disadvantages? And that concludes my art presentation.
What about the questions, Catherine?
Oh, well, I mean, you guys can jump right in whenever, but that was, you know, that was my part. Am I leading the discussion?
Sure.
Okay. So does anybody, either online or in the classroom, want to jump in and tackle the first question, maybe?
I think we.
Telltale signs of a faulty, free, or a double agent.
I didn't see the whole presentation, but when your agent is not negotiating for your best interest.
Okay, the agent's not negotiating for your best interest. It's a good one. I didn't know somebody's a double agent.
I would say, this is Tola, by the way, I would say when they're flip-flopping, like in regards to the negotiation, they say it's one thing, but then it's another, and they just keep going back and forth.
But what about real estate agent who is representing buyer and the seller? It might be a double.
Okay, real estate agent, they would sign up as a dual agent. Then you have to wonder if you have somebody representing the both sides, whose interests are they really trying to protect? That's a critical aspect. And there are real estate agents who do dual representation on both sides. Daniel.
Or now that you bring up the real estate, I can also think of like in a financial standpoint, like the financial analyst for the company. Like within an audit, like they have to favor the audit code of regulations, but they also have to kind of favor the company as well. So they kind of have to be in a non-biased perspective.
Okay.
When all information is correct, but when it's invalid, then I think it's a different step. So.
Because then you're concerned, do they expose the truth or not?
But depending on the audit aspect, depending if they're going to give their opinions and the overall kind of perspective of that. So that's very kind of on the border type of thing.
Okay. How do we avoid having agents like that?
Check credentials
Check credentials. Check credentials.
before we hire them.
Reese said, you said fire them?
Yeah, fire them. If you know there's a double agent, fire them.
No.
That was kind of what I was laughing at.
I was like, I thought he said it was like, did he just say what I said? So we're just gonna fire him.
I mean, if
So
you
why
know
did you
it's a
hire
double
them?
agent is not working for you or working for someone else, what would you have them?
But it says to avoid these people. It's not to say after you messed up.
Wow.
You can still fire them.
You can still fire them. Okay. Okay, but we have to do our research. You have to say, what are people's best interests? It's kind of like if someone tells you that they're doing really financially well, that they show up in a little tiny dirty car. Really? Okay. Then you have to question if people are asking for something low. They look like they're living a different lifestyle. Factors we need to do. When we look to hire agents, why do principals hire agents? Because we're not good negotiators? Because we're too busy?
Sometimes we don't have expertise, and we really.
We don't have the knowledge that we need, so we need to bring people on board to help us out. All right, there we go. Catherine's almost kind of happy. Okay, see, now I can't make the thing stop sharing my screen. The little stupid bar doesn't come down.
I do have a question which is more real life.
Did you have?
So, this was regarding one of the first questions that was presented. What if, so there's an agent when you buy or sell a house who represents both parties, and you have your high and low selling point, like how do you handle that?
When you have an agent looking to negotiate for the property?
Yeah, so they're working for both parties. So when you talk to the real estate agent, you say, these are my height, this is absolutely no, I'm not gonna go below this, or above, whatever. And then other parties also have shared the same information. How do you trust them, or how do you know that?
I
What are
would
the signs you look
say,
for?
being that I deal with that industry, generally when I get a contract and it's somebody who's working as a realtor on both sides, so you have a dual agent, the seller has a relationship with the agent and the buyers as well. Generally, he already knows what they're ready to agree on. Very seldom do you have a seller coming in saying, I want to sell my house for $200,000. Buyer comes in and says, I want to buy it for $190,000. And then the broker's trying to get a middle ground. When you have somebody who's a dual agent and they're represented on both sides, generally you're introducing your clients to one another. It's kind of like you have a sales rep and you make bread, okay? And I have a sales rep and I make hot dogs. He comes to you and says, do you want to make hot dog buns? And he comes to me, do you want to sell hot dogs? Then you have a relationship where you have an agent who you don't mind representing both, because he's making two sides come together that are supposed to come together, like Reese's peanut butter cups. When you have an agent who's in left field and the other one's in right field, you don't want somebody, because you don't believe that your best interest is at hand. So you have to have faith. But we also talked at the beginning of class, when you have a long-term relationship, if you have an agent that you've hired to represent you, you believe that you have trust and reliability in that individual, you're going to be able to go forward with them. That's the main thing. If you don't count on that individual, then there's a good chance that you're going to say, no, this is not supposed to happen, and put you out there at that point. I have no clue what you guys are seeing online right now. I know I said stop sharing my screen. I don't know if it's sharing it or not, because
We can see the class.
you can see the class.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm good with that. Okay, so Catherine, good job. I was really happy to be able to put you on the spot. I appreciated that. You came through kind of strong. I don't see Rosara out there, so that must mean she's going to believe that she's going to get a free pass as well, and she'll get to watch the WebEx, so we'll be looking for her next week. Sonia, again, said that she has the flu. She is under the weather. So I'm going to talk about Chapter 16, which is International and Cross-Cultural Negotiation, which would have been what our articles were on today. And then we will discuss that, and then we're going to do a negotiation exercise in class. Probably get a good count. All right, so tonight, Chapter 16, International and Cross-Cultural Negotiation. So we decide that we want to negotiate internationally. Similar to legal, ethical, and political dimensions of business, Management 520, when you decide that you want to take your skills and your services to another country, first requirement, does the U.S. have any type of trade agreements with them? Why is that? Because if the U.S. does not have trade agreements with another country, make sure they ship you your product first, or they pay you first. Because when you pay them or you send them your product, the U.S. has no jurisdiction. And since the U.S. has no jurisdiction, there's no guarantee that you'll be able to take them to court or ever recoup what's going on. Everybody with me? So, one of the things we talk about international negotiations that, of course, makes it different is your political context. So we're looking to make sure that we have governmental relationships and understanding. Most businesses are going to be a medium or large size when you're going international. It's not like you're going to take your little hot dog stand and say, hey, I'm going to go set my hot dog stand up in Shanghai. Or, to be extremely offensive right now, but to use a good example, so you're really good, you work for Vienna, you make all beef hot dogs. And knowing that Rishi and Simmer are from India, you decide to go take your all beef hot dog stand to India. And you didn't do your research. You didn't understand that the cow, am I correct, is a sacred animal?
Yep.
And then
Not for everybody.
Not for everybody, you will still get customers,
only
but
for
it'll get a lot of opposition.
okay, so of course you're gonna go there and say, it's a cow, what do you mean it's beef? It's like, duh, where the beef comes from. Okay, so I'm going to get some sales, but notice that Rishi was more fervent when he said, but you're gonna get a lot of opposition. Okay, so congratulations, you're just one eye on the cash register and one eye outside the window to make sure that your stand's not getting burnt down. Okay. Now, we want to make sure that when we're foreign countries, that we want to make sure that we're going to be able to sustain ourselves. Okay? Now, understand, this may seem nothing like negotiations at this point, but it's doing the necessary research to say, do they want your product? You go to your phone salesman. You've got these wonderful iPhones and Galaxies on sale, and they give you this wonderful territory in South America, and you realize that the city is a 5 by 5 mile block, and then the next 300 square miles or radius is the rainforest. You're not going to get a lot of sales from people for cell phones in the rainforest. Because, as you all know, when you get to 15% of power, you need to charge your phone. And unless you have somebody who's selling generators with you, they're not going to be able to utilize them. And you may laugh and go, but some people don't think about that. They go places, they want to make a sale, and you're like, you don't know who you're going to see when you get to the door. All right? But then we come to the actual negotiation. As we enter into a foreign country, as we enter into a negotiation with another ethnicity, another gender, another ethnic background, we have to make sure that we consider what are their tendencies and what are their traits. We like to recognize that we are the almighty American. And the almighty American believes that everything needs to be done now and today. Some people don't like to do stuff now and today. Some people like to take a moment, a few days, to come back with you and get a decision. And we don't spend the time to say what are their customs and traits. There's nothing, for me, okay, as an attorney, it's kind of like this. If I send out an email to another attorney with a question, say it's Monday, I go, hey, I'm looking for a response to the inspection request. My follow-up is scheduled for Tuesday, which means on Tuesday, did they email me? And if not, then I email them on Wednesday. So it's email, follow-up, email the next day. There is nothing worse than, hey, did you get this? Hey, did you get this? Hey, did you get this? And the person's like, dude, can I have a moment to think? Like clients telling me, what's your fee? I'm not McDonald's. When you go into McDonald's and you look up on the board, it tells you right away that's how much a hamburger costs, okay? So I go, client, this is what my fee is. I don't need a response right away. You didn't know what I was going to tell you. I don't have a problem if you want to take time to think about it. Hey, that's what it's like. If it's every car in the lot, okay, if you go by the hoopty car dealer, and it says $2,999 on the windshield. Okay, first off, things people do that annoying. If you go to the Hoopty car dealer and you got 4 big numbers on the front window, 2999, and the person comes up, well, how much you sell that car for? Don't you already know that you're about to have a hard time? You saw them pull in. You saw them look at the car. You saw them walk around the car. And then they go, how much? Do you think I'm selling it for $29.99? No, it's not. I would have put a big sticker with it at the period so that you knew that. But if that individual comes up to you and says, how much you selling it for? You know that they're about to have a negotiation. The person who sees the price because I want the car is going to say, I want that car, because they already know the price. One of the greatest car dealers that we have now, CarMax. Dude, go out on the lot, look at whatever you want to see. Nobody goes to CarMax, walks inside, and says, can we negotiate? CarMax is like, we put the price on the window. That's the price that we're going to charge you. They don't negotiate. Other than on your trade-in, they'll take it and tell you, you can come back in 7 days, and this is how much we can give you. We put the price out there, so you're done. Great negotiation experience. Anybody ever been to Jamaica? Okay, so I go to Jamaica. There with the wife. We're leaving the next day. So we're going down the street where they sell all the stuff on the street. Okay. And this lady selling us woodwork, all right? Now, understand, Jamaica is in the West Indies, all right? My father is from St. Martin, which is in the West Indies, okay? So my family is from the West Indies. We're getting ready to leave. Nice piece of woodwork. How much? Little lady goes, $80. I'm like, $20. She comes back, $70. I go, $20. Then she looks at me and turns, walks away, and she comes back, $60. I'm like, $20. So she walks away again, but we're still hanging out. So she comes back, she's like, $50. I'm like, $25. Then she goes, $40. And the wife goes, she's cute. I told you that. I'm like, I just paid $40 for this piece of work because she's cute. She's not coming home. She's not part of the transaction. So, of course, we get this little piece of work, pack it, get on the plane, fly back. It's broke when we get here. Tires looking at the X. I'm like, are you kidding me? And she's like, well, I don't know why. You know, it's a unique piece of art. She said, unique. I was like, my dad is from St. Martin. How do you think we all come back with the same little piece? There's not an old man who sits in front of his house with live all day. They got little manufacturing companies. They spin little things. That's how they make it. None of that stuff is unique. We all get the Jamaica mask. It's the exact same one. How are they lined up? Because it's a production plant, you know? Like people, well, they can't do that. I'm like, yeah, and that's why they can't make baseball bats.
I have a similar experience. We were in Mexico, and there was this family putting colors on a plate. My wife is a very artistic person, and she appreciates art. But the price they asked for the piece of art was like $90 or something, 90 or $60, and I thought it was outrageous. And I know they're poor. I know they work hard, and it was in a little hut in the sun. But I was trying to negotiate. But my wife, similarly, intrigued, like, you're traveling from a different town, give them a little more money. We have money. It's a little extra for them. But I'm like, you're paying $60 for a plate, and I guarantee you want to decor, or you're going to put it on. You're not going to put it on the wall when you get home. We end up paying whatever we negotiate plus more, and top of it, my wife got the food from the resort and gave it to them, which I have no problem with. Their damn plate is I don't even know where it's at. It's not even hanging anywhere in the house.
Okay, now you bring up the economy. Okay, so also as we negotiate with other countries, make sure that when you're doing financial negotiations, that you actually understand U.S. currency compared to theirs. Because Rishi brought up a good point. He's like, okay, they seem destitute or however poor, okay? So we're in Jamaica. Well, I can just say Martin as well. We're at the hotel. We got in super late, so the restaurant part of the hotel had been closed. So it was just like the concierge when you come in. So we're like, hey, let's get a can of Pringles. Now this is back in 1990, okay? Can of Pringles, $6. So I looked and I was like, are you for real? I was like, minimum wage in Jamaica at the time was like $2.24. I was like, so you're telling me I have to work 3 hours to get them a can of Pringles? Okay. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing that. But we're in one of the kind of resorts where we can cook our own food. So the next day we go out. I'm like, all right, let's go to the store. So we go shopping. So we get in the cab. I'm like, we need to go to the supermarket. So the guy drives like 2 blocks from the hotel. And here we are at the supermarket. Looks awesome. And my guys are getting out. I'm like, no, hold on. I go to the cab and I'm like, no, I want to go to the supermarket where you go. He's like, what do you mean? I was like, how far do you live from here? He's like, about 10 miles. I said, well, I will pay 10 miles for the cab drive to go to your supermarket. He's like, huh? I said, dude, I'm from St. Martin. My grandma never shopped at the supermarket by the hotel. We went to this old little man shop who had the same stuff. So we go, why we can get a gallon of milk for like 75 cents, okay? Understand when you're going to a different country, a new home that you want to buy here that's 3 bedrooms and 2 baths is $150,000. We're like, well, you know, their houses only cost like $75,000. Yeah, and that's because their economy is different than the U.S. economy. So when we're sitting there saying we want to offer top dollar, understand we need to know what top dollar is to them and to the U.S. At some point we look, wow, they have 10,000 employees working in their plant. And when we see 10,000 employees, we can think $10 an hour times 40. So it's, wow, they're spending $400,000 a week in salary. No, because minimum wage is $230 and they're only spending $100,000. And when we want to make that U.S. offer, Reese brought up a good point. I brought up a good point. You don't take it. About to be very politically incorrect. We're going to be kind of careful. Okay. In our example, if we were sales reps and we were a team, we would not take our wives to the negotiation table. Everybody with me? I'm not talking about women saying that women can't negotiate. I'm just saying, if you have a team player who has a soft heart and cries when puppies are on the TV screen, that's not the person you want to take to the negotiating table. I need someone who's going to be hard-pressed and understand. Not as though that's not the same in the U.S., but overseas. Also, the exercise that they had in this book is Alpha Beta, and with Alpha Beta it recognizes the American as the alpha. We're very aggressive, very attacking. And then they talk about the Asian culture. And then when we have our presentations next week, and they talk about the international culture, you're going to understand. They are a lot more respectful. The author of the book, the author of the article, he's going to tell, see, I actually read all the articles because I'm supposed to, I'm the instructor. They bow. They avoid eye contact. They tend to, as a generalization, they tend to always focus on integrated bargaining. They tend to work as a team, and understanding as a team, if we're here today at the table, if they don't feel that they're in one accord, they're not going to want to come to an agreement. And the reason why they don't want to come to an agreement is because they need to come back and meet with one another to come to a resolution. They don't try to exercise their power in front of each other. And one of the things that we recognize as in the U.S. as alphas, how we're talking about, we want to have an agenda, we want to know who our spokesperson is, who's going to take the lead. When we don't put those things into place, we tend to present a non-agreeing front in regards to a negotiation. Because I'm going to argue a point, and then if I'm too slow in bringing up Renee's point, Renee's going to want to speak. And then when Renee wants to speak, she's going to go to overspeak me. Then when Marguerite says, well, you're not talking about what I want to say, Marguerite's going to come to the same front. Then Justice says, you know what a good example is? It's like this WebEx meeting. All of the online have us on mute. Everybody's on mute? Hey, can you guys all come off mute, please?
Hi!
Okay, everybody's on
What's up?
right? Okay, what I want you guys to do is I want you to, okay, listen carefully. I want you to tell us your name, where you live, where you went to high school, where you went to college, what your favorite food is, what your favorite dessert is, what your favorite sports team is. Go. Everybody start talking.
At the same time?
Yes.
Jake, Sander,
Betty Stiglman. I went to high school in Las Vegas,
Flatbush,
Nevada.
Bishop Loughlin,
Got my bachelor's degree.
Lasagna, Yankees.
Screen changing up at the top.
The San Diego Chargers.
I can't hear y'all. Come on, people.
Dallas Cowboys.
Trying to remember everything you wanted us to say.
It does make a difference. Just keep talking and people talk louder.
Keep talking.
Chaos.
That's
I'm trying to show y'all the mighty American.
Mighty American.
we're talking over each other.
Exactly.
Not gonna work.
You look at me sharing the screen.
Yes.
Whoever's talking or takes the lead, they take the WebEx. So their name pops up at the top. Reese, do the camera so it shows it there.
There we go.
Jake.
Like, Rihanna, why are you going? Teresa, talk up. Give us the New York. I want to be able to show the top.
Hey guys, this is Teresa talking right now. Hope you guys hear me. High school, Notre Dame, college. I actually did lose track of the list of things to ask
It's not working. But what I want, well, hold on.
Maybe they can.
Okay, I'm going to try this again. Take this. Wait, can I?
Their initial comes up.
Can I? Oh yeah, that's true. Your initials come up.
Yes, it does.
All right, so I need everybody to go through that same list again. But be loud.
My name is Betty Stiglman.
Name is
I graduated high school in Las Vegas.
Son from Brooklyn, New York.
School in Las
Went
Vegas.
to St. John's, went to Bishop
Ohio.
Loughlin.
Milligan.
Favorite food is lasagna. Favorite team is Yankees.
Brianna, I live in Minnesota. I went to high school in Village, Minnesota, college at
Chicken
St.
wings.
Paul State. My favorite food
Graduated high
is
school
Sounds
in
good.
Vegas.
is tiramisu,
wings
and
too,
my
that sounds good.
favorite.
Wow.
Okay. What I wanted to show is when you guys talk online, it lets you take over the meeting. So what happens is whenever someone speaks and they become the loudest, our screen changes. So it goes through your initials. It also gives us your names at the top, but we have to make the camera more focused. So like right now, it's on Tola, but if Betty decides to say, hey, Chris.
Hi, Chris. It's me, Betty.
See how it changed to Betty? If you guys can see our screen, you'll see that it has a BS up there now.
Yeah.
So Nigel, say something.
What's going on, class? Can anybody hear me?
Yes.
See how it says Nigel?
There we go.
So, okay, so that was my example. All right, so You can put the camera back. Show, focus on Muhammad because he came in late. All right. So what happens is we, as the alphas of the mighty Americans, we tend to overtalk one another. We look to see who's in positions of power. And good examples of seeing individuals who have set up agendas in regards to a possible negotiation or things of that. Look at press conferences. Like you see when Rahm Emanuel speaks, he's got his 10 guys lined up behind him. He's showing you who is supporting him. And if you're able to identify all the people, well, there's the police chief, there's an alderman, there's head of sanitation. Generally, you'll see that whatever problem he's speaking on, these should be the advisory council that he needs to tell them about it. But those are things that we do. And we try to keep them in line to show who has a position of power. Then you get the dangerous ones when you get those public speakers who are outside and the crowd's behind them, and you see the guy having to have a powerful moment. We have all these shootings with these people in Chicago, and then you get the kid who's behind him like, yo! Okay. Why do you think news reporters always, when they get interviewed on the street, their backs to the street? People don't just pop up behind you. If they were on the corner behind the shop, guys want to be on TV. Hey, what's going on? Hey, Mom! Okay. So just things in that regard to think about. So, as we look at international and cross-cultural. Cross-cultural, again, brings us back into the U.S. What's the nature? How do people relate? Teresa and Nigel, Teresa brought it up when she gave her presentation. And she made the statement that New Yorkers talk quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So me being a New Yorker, I was proud of that because that's something that they say and we take pride in. But since I've been in Illinois so long and I feel more fondness to you guys, I took it how it was meant to be said, that Illinoisans are slow. And then we had to reiterate that to Teresa. Notice Nigel never brought up that factor when he made his presentation, even though he was on Staten Island, which is a mere 15 miles. But he didn't feel like he needed to tell us that New Yorkers talk quick. Teresa, did you think we forgot?
Nope, I
Okay.
totally knew.
Just wanted to make sure. Okay. So, in that regard, I still don't see Rosario. What questions do I have from the online world? Anybody? Anybody? Betty, I know you have a question. None at the moment. How do you guys feel about the class and this mixed modality? Now, understand, this is negotiation. You guys are missing out on the exercises. Of course, half of your classmates now are here reading and texting people. I don't know why.
I love the mixed modality.
Do you?
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Because you never would have met me?
Exactly why.
Got you. We did not have the pizza party yet. That's week 8. However, was it Jacob or Justin who was eating pizza last week?
Justin.
Justin had his own personal pizza party. Oh, wait, we did have pizza. Yeah, we had Student Appreciation Week.
Mhm.
Leftover pizza. It was cold.
I didn't feel appreciated.
No, you didn't feel appreciated? I don't know why. Okay, so do any of you online to do any classes on site, or are you too far away from Keller locations?
Too far.
Too far.
Okay, so you do, so both of you just do online.
I'm actually going to be doing an on-site here in September.
Where are you from again, Justin?
I'm actually about to do it on-site. I haven't done an on-site in, I want to say, about 3 years.
Okay.
I'm working on my second master's, and I got my career, so I break 4 months between my classes, but I could go to Philadelphia but I
Okay.
choose to go to New York.
Okay, got you. Because I do feel like the exercises are critical, but you guys have felt like you got something out of it. I do want feedback in regards to, this is a bad question. Okay, other than the first 2 weeks when I could not figure out the course shell at all, okay, after that, how did things flow? How do you feel about the assignments? To those of you who had to present, were you comfortable with it? Because basically, I want to get online involved with the class. And generally, if it was just an on-site class, you would present it, and I would broke you up into groups, and that's why I did it, to give that as an opportunity. Were you guys comfortable with the presentations?
I liked it.
I mean, everyone did a really good job, even Teresa. Okay. No, I'm not. Even Teresa, even though she said that you all were slow. Okay. Exactly, Teresa. Most of the people sent me emails separately and were like, Chris, we could not keep up with her presentation. And I was like, she was just slack. I thought she did a good job. I understood it completely because I was from New York. Okay. Okay. We do need reviews. Did I put out the link for the survey? Please do the survey. I don't think did I send anyone there yet?
No.
Oh, okay. I usually try to send one person so I could be like, well, if it was recently in legal evidence, I'm like, hey, I got 20 people in the class. One bad evaluation, I'm still at 95. So it's okay. You know, that's how it is. But you got to pick on someone because, oh, he just likes us all. I don't. I do. No. Next week is going to be Amnesty Week. Amnesty Week is going to be. I've gotten so many emails like, here's this assignment, here's this assignment. Okay? I got 40 students. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm trying to still set up another course shell. So it's going to be like, if you have any grades that are not graded, just send me an email. Here are all my assignments. So I can see them all at one time. I can go through all of them, read through all of them, and issue a grade. I don't want to be like, here was my article presentation. Here was my analysis. Here was my response to negotiation news. Because then I'm going to want to give you a 0, and I don't think anybody deserves a 0 unless you clearly not in there at all. I just said, what is Amnesty Week, Teresa? Oh, you know what? Amnesty Week is an opportunity for you to get credit for all stuff that you missed. Did I say it quick enough for you?
Yes, you did.
Okay. I said it too slow. She's like,
no.
Wow. You gotta say faster. Okay? All right. To our online world, we should have 2 presentations next week. It'll be shorter class. And week 8, there, you want my New York accent? Okay. So with my New York accent, week 8, there's a good chance that all of you are going to log on, watch us eat pizza, say, what's up, and be upset. So everyone should have food. Betty, I'm so lucky that sometimes I remember to record the discussion. If I say chat when someone says I'm missing a grade, I would be SOL. I would be going. I didn't record class last night. Went nicely at 9 o'clock, hit the little red button, and it said start recording. And I was like, Okay, so online, no more questions, no issues, any concerns?
Right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. As far as I've been having a little struggle trying to find out who the duty section leaders are. I know week 6, and I'm now just bringing it up. Where do you go to find out who is the duty section leader for that week?
Who's the
I say this week.
If you go on people and then groups, that should show you who the person is.
But here's the thing: you're trying to are they? How can you tell who's going to be the duty section leader for that week?
You have to go to the file
Do you have a
section.
small icon by the person?
I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Button. Okay. Share content.
And I know I'm asking you to reinvent the wheel, but
No, this is fine. Hopefully it does what I want to do. Okay, share screen. Pull this up. Week 6. I go to the course. Can you guys see the course shell?
no.
Oh, look. Share web browser. Let's do that one. No, that's not what we want to do. Stop sharing.
We see your screen.
Yeah, but that's not the screen I want. Share multimedia. Share content. I want to share my screen. Share content. Okay. Now do you see the course shell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go to files.
No. Go to people.
I mean people.
Go to people. Then go to week 6. And those are the leaders. Because then if I click on it, it shows me all the people in it.
You have
And
a
see
different
the-
view than.
Okay. All right. I know what I did wrong. I didn't click on the. I get it.
Hey, Justin, it's okay. It only took me to week 2 to figure it out.
All right. It took me to week 6.
Hey, I have no problems with that. See, that's new. I never saw that one before. Okay, now I'm like, okay, sharing information I'm probably not supposed to be. Stop sharing.
I think inactive means that they might have dropped the class.
Yeah. This is all great stuff that we get.
Yeah.
Everybody good?
Couple questions and a comment.
Yes.
One, there's a show on Netflix called Scam City.
Scam City.
You were talking about international business negotiation. Watch that, especially the one in Rome.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's pretty much a guy who goes undercover and tries to get scammed. And
He tries to get scammed? or
he tries to
scam
get
people?
scammed personally. He will try to get scammed so you can expose
Okay.
out there. So in Italy, he was trying to set up his own business. And what are the types of competition you need to look out for? But
Rishi is going to send an email to the class to go watch a TV show called Scam City on Netflix. And he's also going to share his Netflix ID and password so that we can all get free Netflix. Because Netflix only has 75 subscribers. They don't understand how all these people talk about them. And they're like, we don't have 75 people registered. Okay.
All right. The second question is, what if that person, the group leader, doesn't post an article?
Are y'all for real? If the group leader hasn't posted an article and you care, just find an article.
Okay, I did that a couple of times.
Yeah.
I don't
Me
keep
too.
doing it.
It's like last week. Okay, last week I did not respond to your discussion. I understand that. You will notice last week, though, I still went into the show every day. Okay? Guess what? In case anyone didn't know. If you go to the show and you look in the syllabus, it will tell you that my name is Christopher Wainer, and I am an attorney. I have my own law office. And that means that clients like me to actually do their work. And then sometimes I want to go to sleep and rest. And I just need a break. Just need a break. But I'm back. I'm here.
And then last question, the negotiating with relationship. What do we need to do?
That's just an open discussion. It's a good topic. It tells you in it. Come on.
Is it different than regular discussion?
Yes, it's different than the regular discussion. So this week, There's the module. Am I still sharing my screen?
Mm-hmm.
So you're looking at the corn shell?
Oh,
No, we can't. I don't see it.
Okay, I can't see this. Let's see. Now yeah, there you are.
Yeah.
Like negotiation with relationships. There's a question there. Look, Teresa was able to figure it out. Everyone else. Teresa, go on. Got 3 posting right away. There you go. I like that. Hey, Betty. Just answer the question.
I'm confused.
There's another discussion this week. There's 2 discussions. There's a negotiation in the news, and then there's a negotiating with relationships. Okay, so there were initially teacher-assigned negotiations, teacher-assigned discussions each week. These were the only 2 that I thought were worthy, and they got to remain. And you got to find a way to make you guys do some work to get the point. Okay?
3 posting?
No,
So,
you just have to
just
answer
one-
the 3 questions.
Okay.
1 post and 3 questions.
Correct. And if you go in the book, you'll find the answers really quick. But I don't want you to go in the book. I want to know what you feel about stuff. Everybody with me? Okay. Let's stop sharing. Just please say it's still recording. All right.
I'm not getting that. Okay.
What do you mean you're not getting it? Is week 6 open? It has to be open. Teresa posted it in there.
Week 6 module.
It's open.
Module,
Yes, there should be 2 discussions.
negotiating with relationships and discussion.
Yes. So negotiating with relationships is one of the other questions. Louis?
And we have to post this one for each, or?
No.
3 times for each?
One for the negotiation with relationships.
And then 3 times for the other one?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Okay, online, going once, going twice, 3 times. Wait, hold on, for Teresa, going once, twice, 3. All right, there we go. See you guys. Have a safe week.
You as well, Professor.
See you guys.
Take care.
Stop. See, so last night.